Lavender, queer life culture.
Welcome to Toasted Lavender. I am your host, Lisa, and tonight I am drinking a delicious beer by Strange Overtones called Sadie's Special, featuring New Mexico hops. Sabro. Tastes coconutty and delicious, which there's a backstory. There's a place in Albuquerque called Sadie's that we fell in love with. Kai and Alex have t-shirts. And
matching t-shirts.
They had
photos.
We do. We'll throw a photo up.
Yeah, we should post a photo
That's great.
of us in our twinner shirts. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I have some already, don't worry.
They had the best burritos, the best chile verde, and the
most
best
importantly,
pina colada we've ever had. And it's inspired by a beer from Bow and Arrow. You want to talk about that?
right. So we had a smash beer, single malt, or was it a single malt?
No, it
was just a single hop.
Single hop.
New England IPA at Bow and Arrow Brewing, and they used only Sabro hops. And when we had it, I was overwhelmed with coconut, and they didn't add any coconut. It all came from the hop. So we were inspired to brew a beer with only Sabro. So we brewed a lager just to be different. But I would say that it's probably a New England India Pale lager.
Here I am,
I don't
with
know.
FOMO bad. Like, I don't want to talk about this beer. I want to be drinking that beer. So
You can drink that
really
beer.
good
I'm
beer.
moving on
Just-
to that
it's
next.
Head on over to the tap over there and pour yourself a beer.
That's where I'm
Last
going.
week I had 3 pints of it during the episode, so that just tells you how much I like this beer.
I'm glad it turned
And how
out.
drunk Lisa was by the end of the episode.
Yeah, exactly. Lindsay, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a La Cumbre acclimated APA, which, according to the can, won the silver medal in 2019 at the Great American Beer Festival. It's an American-style pale ale. I don't know what hops they use, but I'm going to go on record and say that this is one of the best, if not the best, pale ales I've had.
It's really good.
It's fantastic. And La Cumbre just makes great beer in general, but this one in particular, I can understand why they won a silver medal.
Yeah.
We're still writing our New Mexico high
Yeah.
from May.
We are.
We're running low. My name's Alex, and my pronouns are she and her. And I'm drinking what Lisa's drinking. I'm having the Sadie Special.
Cheers, Sadie's. Cheers to you guys for brewing it.
I don't think we said our pronouns, Lisa.
Oh, sorry. Lisa, she, her.
Yeah, I'm also she, her, but if you've been listening,
Ditto,
you
ditto,
know
ditto.
that. But if you haven't been, welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Kai, and I'm drinking the Parks IPA from Grand Teton Brewing, and it's quite good. I like it a lot, and it supports the National Park Service, which I also like. So
What kind of beer is that?
it's a very light session-y IPA.
Oh, it's an IPA.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's very light. Goes down more like a little amber ale, but it's really good. I
Not
liked it.
super aromatic.
Nope, not super aromatic.
I've enjoyed the Grand Teton beers that I've had.
I have too. Everything I've had from them has been solid. Not like just like
Doesn't
a good
blow me
like,
away, but
middle
it's
line, like
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a nice beer. Something different.
And what are your pronouns?
He, him. And we're here. We're queer. We're drinking beer.
Likely
and
drinking beer.
Always drinking beer.
On that note, if you'd like to give us some beer money,
Right. You can go to patreon.com/Toasted Lavender podcast. We've got a beer money. It's very affordable. We've got queer money. Go check it out. Part of that goes to Ogden Pride
Organization.
organization.
They're trying to get themselves into a new facility. Right now, they don't have a facility. Their organization is kind of without home at this time.
Right. And then we also have the official Lavender Menace tier, which, you can go read about. But this month, we're running a little fun special where if you sign up for the Queer Money or above, we will send you a Lavender Menace t-shirt.
And this is the last week for that for the
Right.
month of August. So if you still wanted to cash in on that deal, make sure you are getting on
Handmade,
that now.
hand-dyed.
We also
Hand
have some
spray
fun
painted.
limited edition stickers.
Right.
Once they're gone, and then we'll have new designs. So if you're a collector,
Oh, yeah, like
Oh,
Lisa.
look at Lisa's eyes.
Lisa's a sticker fiend.
I'm a sticker fiend, and these are great quality. They're great for your water bottles. They're not gonna get wet and then shrivel up. They're like the fancy coated.
You've tested them.
I've tested
We've
them.
tested them, yes. Well, I feel like that does a really nice segue into your collection, which is what you're going
Yeah,
to
what
be
other kind of
telling us
collections
about
do you have,
today.
Lisa?
So today, our episode is all about queer Disney.
I wish everyone here, that's listening, could see Lisa's face right now.
Yeah,
She's
I
really
think,
excited
I think
to
your
talk
cheeks
about
are
queer
going to hurt
Disney.
by the end of it.
I think so. I'm pretty excited because these are two of my favorite subjects to talk about. So them colliding is very fun and nerdy for me.
I'm getting excited just in anticipation.
So we're going to talk about a couple different areas around Disney and queerness and where they collide.
Is it everywhere?
It's everywhere.
Spoiler alert.
It's everywhere.
We're everywhere.
A little bit about my backstory. Our listeners may not know that I am from Southern California, so I grew up going to the parks regularly. We had lots of family friends who worked for Disney, and so we had a lot of great opportunities and privilege to go often. So I was a Disney kid. I also have a lot of really great fond family memories before my parents got divorced of going to the parks, so it's near and dear to my heart. And then after moving to Utah, I spent a lot of my summers in California, again, going to the parks, and I had the opportunity to do the Disney College program and worked there for about 9 months as a lifeguard at the hotels at the resort, which
A
was
lifeguard.
the best job in the world.
Did you have to guard anyone's life?
I guarded everyone's life.
But did you,
Did you
have,
have to dive?
intervene?
I did. I had, I think, 6 saves in my time there.
Saves?
Saves,
Is
yeah.
there like a board they track the
No.
saves?
I don't think they want to track the almost drowned.
But it would be in
Yeah.
the it would be like in the break room. Like, oh, I got another save today.
I did get lifeguard of the month.
Hey, see, this is what I'm getting at.
I have a picture of me with lifeguard Minnie, which we can post in the show notes.
Oh my god, I am so excited about that.
Can I just make a comment here because you're my wife?
Yes.
It's the hottest thing ever to me. That's all.
Ever?
I love it. Love it.
Wow.
All right, well, now that
Maybe
I'm
we
blushing.
shouldn't post this.
Anyways, so like I said, I worked there and I kind of got the best. I feel like I had the best job because people were so excited and happy, and it was a little bit away from the park because we were outside the gate, but they were staying on property, and the pools there are very interactive and themed, and we had a lot of opportunities to make what was called a magical moment for kids and families, and I'll get into that more later, but it was a very rewarding and a very special time in my life, and that's actually, while I was working there, is when I came out, so it's a big part of my queer story. But Disney's really fucking gay, and I don't know if many people think about that because they're known as family-friendly entertainment. And we know that gay things are family-friendly sometimes, but not a lot of people think about it in the same context.
I just wanted to go back to the lifeguard thing.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I almost drowned at a theme park.
No! For real?
Well, at Lagoon. Yeah.
No, at Laguna Beach?
Yes, at Lagoon.
Okay, let's hear the story.
All right, so me and my cousin were at Laguna Beach.
In Farmington,
Travesty
Utah.
to even call it.
So I've been there like 2 or 3 times in my lifetime, but I think there's like a current. There's like
the
a
lazy river thing.
right, but
Yeah.
it's like right off of a pool. So there's still like a little bit of a current. So we were swimming in what seemed to be fine waters, and then suddenly I am not able to touch the bottom, and neither was my cousin who was right with me. So
old
we
were you?
resorted probably like 8,
Okay.
7 or 8. We resorted to one of us would go down and touch the bottom and push the other one up.
That is a terrible idea.
And then we'd reverse.
Oh,
And so
God.
It's like a life and death situation.
Yeah.
so on my turn to go up, I like really like waved down the lifeguard, like was like
hell.
hello,
Help, I'm a
hi.
drowning child.
And then they came and got us. So thank you for your service, Lisa.
Thank you.
my God.
That's
First line responder.
It wasn't you, but
It wasn't
it would have
me,
been
but-
you in a different lifetime.
yeah, for sure.
Queer Disney.
Queer Disney. What do you think of when you think of queer Disney?
Well, we've talked about The Little Mermaid a lot.
We have. Go back
Yeah.
to episode 1 if you want to hear about our queer roots, because we talk a lot about Disney in that episode.
We've also
Mulan.
talked about Mulan.
Mulan
Which
is
has
what I think
connected
about.
with a lot of people.
A lot of our
Yes.
listeners have, like, I feel like that's the episode I've gotten the most feedback on is the Mulan
Really?
episode.
That's very interesting.
I'm happy to make an impact in our community by talking about Mulan.
Yeah, look at you.
I don't know. Personally, I really loved Aladdin. I don't know how queer Aladdin is, but I loved Aladdin. And maybe I just wanted to be Aladdin.
Okay.
You wanted to sweep some lady off of her feet on your magic carpet.
Yeah.
Oh,
what I
I like
thought.
that. So, like, you're like the lesbian version of Aladdin.
Yeah.
And you liked those pants, probably.
And Stella
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, boo.
Look how comfortable
Yes.
those pants
Yeah,
are.
those are. Well, and we learned in what episode
Stella boo.
3 that queer fashion is 90% comfort and 10% style. So
Right. Yes.
And that's why we have all these Persian rugs or whatever.
If you
that
could
we keep
see me right
buying.
now, I would definitely confirm that for you.
okay.
Yeah, I'm basically wearing Aladdin pants right now.
You are.
I also just loved the Sega game.
Oh my god, yes.
The only game
Yes.
I played on Sega was Sonic the Hedgehog.
We
That's
had the
probably common.
the Super Nintendo Aladdin game.
Right.
And
Do you
I
ride
think
the
it was
probably
magic
the same.
carpet around?
Yes.
Okay.
And you go through the like
marketplace.
village. Yeah, the marketplace, and you like grab onto things.
Yes, and you swing and you like grab loaves of bread.
Yes.
Yes, and did you ever make it to the lamp level where you're like in the genie's lamp?
Yes.
God, and that was like the hardest level.
Yes.
You had to go through the Cave of Wonders first.
It was very difficult.
I don't
Fuck you
remember my
guys.
childhood.
This is like
It was like my favorite game at the time.
a lot
for
of my
sure.
childhood I've blocked, but I remember a very specific.
Well, that was your
parts of it.
escape, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many amazing parts of Disney culture that are ingrained in us that we may not even realize because we were young when we attached to these characters and these plots. And as much as people may want to make fun of Disney or like not give it its credit, it's definitely woven into American culture, and you can't deny that. Like, it's everywhere. Whether you were a rich kid, a poor kid, middle class, you were exposed to Disney in some way, and some more than others for sure. But There are a lot of what are called queer-coded characters within the Disney universe.
Coded with a D?
With a D.
Okay.
Does anyone know what queer-coded means?
Where like they don't say that this is a queer character, but there are signs.
Or do they use special
Are there
labels
symbols?
within Disney?
Yeah, I don't know about Disney, but that's definitely a thing with other queer codedness.
So queer-coded is a term I was not familiar with before researching for this episode tonight, and so we'll just add it to our queer dictionary that we're building. Yeah, we're building a queer lexicon on our Patreon page. I just decided.
Okay.
I just feel like we've learned so many new vocabulary words since
We're
we
all
started
learning
this podcast.
together.
Yeah.
Queer coded was a big thing like during the Hays Code time too. Like they would like portray gay people with like a certain symbol or a certain behavior, or like us in the 90s it was like an earring on
Yes,
a
I was going to
certain
talk about the
side.
earring. Yeah.
I remember talking about that when I was too young to care.
Same
Like,
he's
if you got your
gay
ear
'cause
pierced
he's-
on this side, then you're definitely
That was
Then you're gay.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
I even thought about it when I got my nose pierced.
Like,
oh, really?
oh, which
Did you
side?
Google it?
But there was no Googling.
But then you're like, oh no,
I'm a
am I gay
lesbian.
now?
You're like,
God.
shit, I'm a straight
no,
girl.
I think I knew inside it didn't fucking matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Queer coding is when a fictional character is imbued with stereotypical traits or given dialogue or put into a situation that somehow suggests they may be queer without explicitly stating it. The act of coding characters as queer, whether intentional or inadvertently, partly comes from the fact that throughout the history of cinema, many conservative groups have pressured studios around the world to avoid showing LGBTQ+ people and stories on screen.
Hays Code.
Shout out to Ashley who sent me this amazing BuzzFeed article titled 45 of the greatest queer-coded Disney characters that have ever been.
I was about to share it on our story and Lisa was like, no,
Not yet.
keep it in the vault.
She sent it to me and I was like, this is the perfect foundation for an episode because as we learned in episode 1, we all have some queer Disney roots, some deeper than others, some broader than others. We all have them. We're going to discuss some characters and some situations within the Disney universe. And I want to know everyone's thoughts on if you've thought about these characters as being queer-coded.
Were they on my gaydar?
Were they on your gaydar? Do you feel like this is accurate? And
I love this game.
what are your thoughts?
I'm
Yeah.
And
ready.
can we see it now?
Yeah, can
that
you
we're
see it now?
looking back. Okay.
Absolutely.
This
So
is fantastic. Let's do it.
we're going quiz style, round
Yes.
robin.
Great.
Up first, Timon and Pumbaa as Simba's gay dads.
Yeah. Or like gay uncles or something. Yeah.
They seem
I see
more
that.
like gay uncles to me.
Yeah.
I don't think at the time that was really.
No,
a
I
thought.
see it now.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
as
they're
a
like
kid.
fun and
They were just best friends.
And then they kind of like were like
Just best
argumentative
friends.
Yeah.
though.
Roommates.
Like they were
Roommates.
they were much more argumentative than best friends. Like they were much more coupley argumentative than best friends.
And they're raising baby Simba.
it reminds me of the movie The Birdcage
with Robin Williams
and Nathan Lane.
And Nathan
Yes.
Lane is the voice of Pumbaa.
Okay.
Maybe that's the
what-
connection.
That's it in your brain.
Probably.
I agree with Lindsay. I don't think I saw those as like a gay couple as a kid, but like in retrospect, I'm like, oh yeah, that's for sure a gay couple.
Now I want to watch Lion King.
It's a great movie, but
I remember going to the
cry
theater.
I cry like a baby every time.
It's like 94.
I can't deal with it.
All right, Jafar. Gay and pissed.
Ooh. And he's like pretty like done out. Like he's
He has like the goatee that's very
manicured.
He's kind of creepery with Jasmine, though. I don't
maybe
know.
he's bi.
Yeah, maybe he's just a creeper.
Maybe
Maybe
he
he
is
just
bi.
identifies as a creep.
I I identify as a creep.
Me too.
So is this like a buzzer? Like,
What am I doing here?
We'll do like ding.
I don't
ding.
belong
I
here.
buy Timon and Pumbaa more than Jafar.
Okay. Frances from A Bug's Life as a drag queen.
So Frances was the
The ladybug.
Okay, the ladybug.
No, for
The
me,
ladybug who is like a man.
Right, and then he's like very gruff and gets offended when people call him a lady.
Yes.
Right.
No. That was not.
I haven't seen this movie in a really long time.
I was not a Bug's Life kind of child.
I
was
loved
I
A
was
Bug's
beyond
Life.
the Bug's Life.
My mother really liked the movie A Bug's Life.
I loved it.
And
loved it too.
it was like the only movie that she'd watch, so we watched it.
the
a
only
lot.
movie?
Yeah, we don't need to get into it, but
sorry.
yes.
That was just, you said the only, and I just...
Yeah, it's like we watched A Bug's Life or General Conference.
Wow, what a childhood.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Captain Hook from Peter Pan.
No. He's
As
just a
terrible
fancy
as he
pirate.
was, I
Just
love
fancy?
Captain Hook.
He's just fancy.
Is
See,
that
and
Sean
he-
Penn?
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Hook was Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Same.
No.
Okay.
Tootsie
Sorry,
is
yeah.
not
No,
the same
yeah,
as
okay.
Sean Penn.
I'm sorry.
No, I could see Captain
They're
Hook.
both
We're
short.
talking animated.
Cartoons.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Looking back, I
High
can.
pitched voice, kind of like
Very
feminine,
particular and
particular,
fancy.
But that's just the fashion of the pirate, is it not?
He was just the boss pirate.
Yeah, but then he's like
Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's kind
Are
of
we gonna
and
talk
this
about
is
Johnny Depp?
this is very stereotypical, but I think many of the Disney like queer coding is stereotypical, but he's like a very dainty man. Like he kind of like steps across the things, like avoiding the alligator, like in a very dainty. I don't know. I can kind of
I don't
see
know.
it.
I guess I read it as the fashion and the
I don't want to get my
pomp
pirate
and
suit dirty.
circumstance of a fancy pirate man.
All right.
I don't
don't
know. I was never a pirate.
I've never been a pirate.
I don't.
know.
I'm not sure how accurate my perception of pirates is, especially like
fair.
the main dude.
The
He's
captain.
kind of I feel like Captain
The
Hook's a little
captain, if
flamboyant.
you
I
will.
do, but that's me. The captain.
I don't know.
Unsure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm on the
unsure.
fence.
I am all about this one. Prince John, Sir Hiss, and Little John from Robin Hood.
Yes.
I used to watch that a lot. I know that the snake.
Come on.
Oh, right.
That's Little John running through the forest.
Little
There was-
drag.
Robin Hood rocking through the forest.
Yeah, there was a song.
Lolly.
That was a gay movie. That was definitely a gay
There's
movie.
a lot of gay
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
happening in that
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. I
Sir
agree.
Hiss, Sir Hiss and Prince John are both
They're
very
kind
queer.
of gay for each other. In
They
a way.
are, and they're
Yeah.
very like stereotypical gay boys.
Yeah.
When was that movie made? Like a very long time
60s,
ago?
70s?
Interesting.
I would guess 70s if it was open to that, but I don't know. I
Okay.
have no idea.
Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
We've talked about
I wanted to
this.
get a chest tattoo.
Just, oh yes.
Was she gonna be like
Tentacle.
tentacling?
Alex answers for me.
You can't have
You didn't know?
Would
Ursula.
be something you're into?
No.
Okay,
No.
good to know.
Turk from Tarzan. Voiced by Rosie O'Donnell. As the androgynous.
Oh, the gorilla.
You never really know
like
if this
baby
character
gorilla.
is male or female.
So my head literally just went back to like McDonald's Happy Meals and Turk as a toy in my like that was like
can
the
all of a sudden
prime
smell
time.
French fries.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the prime
That is
time
the
for
prime
Happy
time.
Meal toys. Yeah, all right, that's all.
Cogsworth and Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
And
Can I see a picture? Because
that's the candlestick and the clock.
Yes.
oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, they were
Yes.
just obsessed with presentation,
Yes.
right? And like be our guest.
Is Cogsmere the clock?
Like they're running a
Yes.
B&B.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
and they're so hospitable.
Okay.
Did you see Lilo and Stitch?
No.
Okay.
I also haven't seen that.
Just for our fans, Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch is a huge gender bender character.
Pleakley?
One-eyed.
Is an alien. It won't make sense if you haven't seen it.
No, that
but,
doesn't make any sense.
Is just, and this tweet is, when are we going to talk about how Pleakley is an LGBTQ icon who has constantly serving range in Lilo and Stitch that girls nowadays could never pull off?
Oh, wow.
Is it spelled icon, like EYECON?
No, but it should. That was a missed opportunity, Brendan Jordan, who tweeted this. And last but not least, Luca and Alberto from Luca, which we just watched. It's the newest Disney Pixar film that just released this month. And
I have to say, I didn't read them as a gay couple until I read a commentary after, and I was like, okay. Did you read them as a gay couple the first time you saw it?
But I saw an ad for it after, and I'll find it and post it. But it was like these different scenes from the film, and you know how in like a trailer it will show a scene and then there'll be like these big bold letters on the screen that's like, when no one will accept you, you know, like it's like giving you like this commentary.
Okay.
And the words were rainbow. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
And when you're saying things like, when no one will accept you.
Yes.
So there's no Emperor Kuzco from Emperor's
No,
New Groove?
but I think, yeah. So, okay, so that was the list I had. So
no love interest.
let's throw out people you think should have made the list.
Absolutely Kuzco.
I agree. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And his like advisor is just this really old woman that wears feathers in her hair and like
Chain
is
smokes,
actually
or
Eartha
maybe she
Kitt.
doesn't. I don't know.
She
well,
does
it's Eartha Kitt. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
and he just like has really nice hair and is really like
He's very obsessed with his image.
yeah.
Can we did Eartha Kitt for real voice her?
Yes.
Oh my god, my mind is still just like
We should watch this movie.
I love
should.
this movie, and I love it even more now that I know that Eartha Kitt was the voice for that.
It's
that
perfect.
blows me away.
Yeah. That's a good one. For sure.
Yeah.
Clearly.
We have to. I think it's fair to say I've watched that movie more than any movie I've ever watched in my life.
Oh, wow.
Emperor's
Okay.
New Groove.
Yes, that
Okay.
was like the
Wrong
movie.
Who else comes to mind besides our Mulan?
What's the parrot's name in Aladdin?
Iago. Oh yeah, he's
Candidate?
kind of a
He's a
Yeah.
candidate. Yep.
Because I just see Gilbert Gottfried and I
But
can't.
don't picture Gilbert.
picture the character.
Picture the parrot.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He's not impressed by Jasmine at all.
At
He's
all.
a little dick.
He's
towards-
actually like cock blocking.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what's mine?
You're right. Maybe it's Iago and not Jafar.
It's both. They just wish that they were compatible in an anatomical way. So they could be together.
Oh my god. We're talking
You
about
got
a bird
it?
and a man.
You're getting what I'm
We're
putting down?
getting it. Yeah, I'm not editing that out.
God.
I'm trying to think of other instances.
I know how problematic Pocahontas is on a lot of levels, but Wiggins and Governor Radcliffe.
I haven't watched that show for so long.
So Governor Radcliffe is the villain, and Wiggins is his assistant.
Oh, is he a little pudgy? No, he's not a pudgy guy. Okay. He looks unsure in
He's
that
very
photo.
unsure and anxious and just kind of runs around and...
Yeah.
What about Goofy as a character in whole?
Oh, we're going to the Fab Five. I like
well, I mean,
Fab five.
That's what they're called.
Donald could be like a resentful.
He
like,
never wears pants.
I can't come out, and I.
Well, what about Daisy? That's his girl.
Are you sure that's not his sister?
Is it?
Are you
They
sure?
sort of are.
Okay, I
yeah,
don't know.
they are. They're a couple, but like I could.
cartoons, they're a
Maybe
couple.
Daisy is Donald's beard.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying.
Okay. I like where you're going here.
Well, and he has a whole little like neckerchief and a
Yes,
little
and he's
sailor
just
cap,
kinda-
and he doesn't wear pants.
Yes,
And then Daisy is just around sometimes.
he's kind of a curmudgeon,
He is the definition of a curmudgeon.
I like that. Okay.
but
Yeah.
goofy as well. Like Goofy
He's a
has
single
son.
dad.
Yeah,
He's a
we
single
never
dad. We
see-
never know where Max came
We've
from.
never seen a mom character, so
There was probably like a surrogate situation.
surrogate or like maybe some sort of.
Prove it situation.
I'm gonna go with surrogate. 'Cause
Okay.
that's yucky.
I don't want Goofy to prove it to anyone.
I think he was getting older, and maybe he was just like, I want a kid, and I don't have a partner, and I'm fine with it. I haven't found that man in my life, that dog in my life.
Like a Liz Lemon situation.
Yeah, it's a Liz Lemon situation for sure. Shout out to 30 Rock. We're watching it right now.
I don't know any other Disney movies.
We've wrapped up
Do
here.
I know Fantasia. That's not really in the wheelhouse here.
There's some queerness in that for sure.
The Mops.
Chernabog. The mops
Mops are gay for sure.
for sure. Those little fairies. That
Those
like,
mops
fly
are
around.
gay.
I just remember the Mops.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Sorcerer Mickey.
Is Dumbo gay?
He could be. He's kind of like a child. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have to like drink alcohol or something?
No.
Isn't there an alcohol component in Dumbo?
That show triggers me. I can't watch it. So
There's like the heffalumps and woozles section that's very trippy on acid sort of
Okay.
scenario, but
From
I
experience.
thought that was I thought that was like a Winnie the Pooh.
oh, that is Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
elephant.
There's like the
Dumbo
pink.
is the pink elephants on parade.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm glad
They're
that I
both
have
in the
my
same-
Disney shit in order for
They're both
Lisa's
in the
episode.
same wheelhouse. They're
Yeah.
both trippy, and they both are stressful for the main character.
Were you ever a Winnie the Pooh person?
I
Okay.
have always been a Winnie
Kai
the Pooh person.
is the Winnie the Pooh
I was
authority.
big into Winnie the Pooh. My grandparents really pushed me in that direction. There is an episode where,
Oh, bother.
yeah, well,
Oh, that was good, Lindsay.
yes.
That was good.
There's an episode where they go to like the land of milk and honey, and it's like this really black, really dark background.
Yeah, that's where the little
Do you
black
remember?
rain cloud comes
And there's
from.
like a river, and there's like, I need to look it up, but it was very. It made an imprint
That's lasted.
in my memory.
That's nice.
It was kind of
of
spooky.
a scary place.
Oh.
It was kind of spooky.
I want to rewatch the show, like the show episodes again.
Yeah.
Because like I've rewatched the movies, and we rewatched. Well, not rewatched. We watched the Christopher Robin movie during the pandemic, and I loved it. Of course.
There's a ride at Disneyland when we all go.
Okay.
Because that is happening.
Yes, it's
I
happening.
love Winnie the Pooh. Like it will always just like cradle my heart in a little cozy warm swing.
Yeah.
And
It cradles my heart. I haven't really gone back there for a long
If I'm
time.
around when you're biting the dust, I'll turn on some Winnie the Pooh for you.
please
God.
do. Please do.
Our
That is
Christmas-
or Golden Girls. Those are the two
Yes.
things that you should turn on for me if I'm biting the dust and you're still around.
Our Christmas stockings are all
You go before me.
Winnie the Pooh characters.
Blanche needs a stock.
He's Tigger.
I know, but we
He's
need
gonna
to
be
find him
Tigger.
I feel like we've really gone off course here.
But yeah.
We're still in the Disney realm.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh's Disney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just told you there's a ride at Disneyland that's Winnie the Pooh.
Well, I didn't know if they just like acquired Winnie the Pooh or if it
No,
has
it's
always
always
been
been
Disney.
Disney.
Okay.
So the next thing I want to talk about is some tips on how to navigate the Disney parks if you have a queer or trans child.
This is something that I have never even thought about. Because I've never thought about going to a Disney park.
With a child.
With a child.
Or at all.
Or at all.
That's fair.
But this could be very valuable to some people. I would love to hear this, Lisa.
The cool thing about Disney parks is that they are so centered on customer service and attention to detail. So I feel like this is something that could definitely be beneficial to a queer kid, because there's not a lot of situations where you can go in feeling 100% that this is something you don't have to worry about as a parent or as an aunt or uncle or a friend.
You just immerse yourself in this experience.
Yes.
And like real life things sort of disappear, right?
Right. And sometimes there's situations where a child is being misgendered or even an adult. Any of these things, except for one, apply to adults as well. So if you're coming out as an adult or you're not feeling safe or accepted, you can use any of these and feel the Disney difference in your life.
Hang on.
I got a smirk.
Hang on, Disney difference. All right. I'm ready.
I can just tell that you've read a lot of handbooks.
There's a lot of
For-
training.
Yeah.
There is a lot of training. The cool thing is I got to be a part of this when I worked there, so I have some personal experiences of seeing this happen in real life, but it's really cool, the inclusiveness that Disney, whether you're a fan of it or not, like, it really is a place where they try to make everyone feel welcome. And Walt
Could
Disney,
you not be a fan of that?
it's a very,
Yeah.
it's a really cool thing. Like, anyone can go there and have a great experience.
right.
Walt Disney has a famous quote on opening day of Disneyland. He said, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome." And that's something that they've really tried to implement in everything they do to make everyone feel welcome, who walk through the gates, feel like they can be themselves. And most people don't have to worry about that. And it's not something they even think about. But for queer, trans, LGBTQ, non-binary, questioning kids, this can be something that like really makes a huge difference in their
Well,
life.
and not even that. I mean, if we extend into like different, like autistic kids and like any kind of
Neurodiverse.
yeah, neurodiversity. That's I've seen like I don't know, like social media posts of kids being, you know, sort of welcomed and like I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I don't think it's just queer though. It's like
Absolutely not. And
a whole range.
they're heavily, you know, partnered with Make-A-Wish Foundation and other things that allow kids to have these experiences. And we're a queer podcast, so I'm trying to make it applicable to queer kids. But absolutely, you're right. It's a great
Yeah,
point.
I just wanted to say
Yes, that everyone is included in this.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So there's a Disneyland and a cluster of parks in California.
Correct.
There's a Disney World in Florida.
Correct.
And there are other Disney parks
Yes.
around the globe.
Correct.
Do you know if the same attitude about like welcoming every single person is applicable to like all these other outside of the United States locations?
That's a great
Is there
question.
like a regional or cultural difference?
So there's the same principles and keys, they call them the keys, that are taught to cast members. Cast members are the people who work for Disney. Everything is based on this idea that you're on a stage, that you're performing, and the people who come are guests for this performance. So cast members is what they're called, and I know that they have the same training worldwide, and they really try to implement these things everywhere. Of course, there's going to be some cultural differences in the international parks, but it's very important to the company as a whole that these same principles are implemented worldwide.
Okay. So I'm sure there's not like a Disney location in some like very conservative area of the world.
The other park locations are France, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Tokyo.
Okay.
And so I can't speak on what those experiences are there.
I bet you'd like to go.
I would love to go. It's on my bucket list to visit
France especially.
every Disney park. But, yeah, if you have an experience in an international park as a queer person, I would love to hear your experience, so write in. The bottom line is that queer kids can have an incredibly positive, gender-affirming experience, especially if they're not getting that in their home or their school or somewhere else in their environment. Like, this could be a really great opportunity. So I want to kind of talk about a few tips that you can implement to have a really great Disney experience. And the first one is dressing up in the parks. So Disneyland, Disney World have a really cool situation where they'll let kids under 12 dress up anytime. If you're over 12, it has to be during the Halloween parties, and that's a safety
So you
measure.
come dressed up, or you tap someone like you, a cast member, on the shoulder, like, I would like to dress up, please.
So you can come dressed up,
Okay.
or there's another really cool experience that I'll get to.
God.
This is really amazing because gender identity is not a thing. So if there is a trans child who wants to wear a princess dress or a prince outfit or a pirate outfit, like,
Well, that's just
Nobody's going to be like,
service.
sorry, you can't wear
That's
the princess dress.
Yeah, that's just like customer service.
but it's part of the experience that there isn't rules around gender within that
nice.
sphere. So
that was reiterated
yeah, it's very much
in your like training.
yes. And when you walk into the park, City Hall is right there as you walk in, and you can go and you can get a button. And there's buttons for every occasion. So it could be a happy birthday button, happy anniversary, I'm celebrating, and you can write in things.
You're like, I'm 10 years sober, and
Yes.
I'm here at Disneyland.
Seriously,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You can celebrate
Right,
anything
okay.
and everything. And there are these
they're free.
big buttons, and they're free.
Oh, okay.
And you can put your name on it, and you can put your pronouns. You can put whatever you want. And as a cast member, you're trained to look for the button.
Okay. So you can be like, say hi to my child because they have cancer or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's not enough
Wow.
room for a paragraph.
Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, you're getting the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
But more like
'Cause
somebody
people are
could
gonna
wear
read
a
your
button
shit.
with their
Yes.
pronouns, or their kid could have a button with their I'm
Got it.
Susan
So-
and I like princess dresses.
Yes,
Got
for
it.
example, and so you get their name and their pronouns correct, and then you're also trained that it's like, okay, you greet them by princess or prince, or if it's unsure, then royal guest.
There's a very broad, like, gender neutral
Code happening.
code.
Yes.
If it's not explicit.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Let that person or child have that magical moment that's really positive and affirming, especially if they're a trans child and maybe they're wearing a dress and they're not used to being called princess or...
But that's a
they're
great
correct.
tip. So it's City
Yes.
Hall.
So City Hall, right when you walk in. A lot of times you can get them at the ticket booth too if you're buying tickets there. But if you bought tickets in advance, you just go straight to City Hall.
Okay.
And they have Sharpies there. And
I mean, because I've been once. I wouldn't remember, but that's good to know. Like,
Yep.
look for City Hall if you want to get your button and
Is
just
this like,
customize your experience.
yes.
is this kind of recent or is this
No, this
very
has always been a
long-standing?
thing.
Okay.
Yes. When we went, we're on our honeymoon buttons, and
Okay.
everyone was like, "Oh, you're
Every
newly married."
ride worker and everything was like, happy honeymoon. Like,
that's
and it
nice.
wasn't like, happy fucking honeymoon. Like, it was like,
Genuine.
It feels genuine.
happy honeymoon.
You kind
Yeah.
of feel
That's nice.
doted on. You feel
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
it's a great way to celebrate
I
the queer individual.
I
who
can't
you're with.
imagine like being a child who needs to hear some like affirmations on their gender identity and they go to Disneyland and like the princess is like, "Oh my gosh, another princess showed up."
Yeah.
Right.
type of
I'm
thing.
sure
Yeah.
that, yeah,
It's
that would
like
be a huge
not
deal.
even like comprehensible for us.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like. yeah.
I understand that I come from a different Disney world than the average person, but you can see why something like this would like maybe make someone choked up.
Yeah.
Like truly magical moment for a kid who's never been like seen or validated in that way and like feels truly like immersed in a world where they can just be who they are.
Right.
Yeah. Like no judgment zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Another really cool opportunity that definitely comes with a price tag. So it's
The buttons are free.
yes, the buttons
Yeah,
are
the
free.
The buttons are free now. We're moving
So
on.
now we're moving on up to the next level. So if you want to splurge on a one-of-a-kind experience, there is...
Is Disney paying us for this?
This is not sponsored by Disney, no.
Oh, I just
Disney,
want to
if
check.
you
on
want
that.
to
Love it if
sponsor
it was.
our podcast, you can email
We'll
us
get right
at
on it.
Toasted Lavender Podcast.
Sorry.
Our
I'm sorry.
free Google email account.
So,
That's up there.
so tell us about the upgrade, Lisa.
So the upgrade experience is called the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Oh boy.
So, what this gets you is a fun appointment, one-on-one experience where you get your hair done, your nails painted, and covered in lots of glitter. And the deluxe package, you get a royal ball gown or a dapper knight outfit. And the whole experience is within the salon inside the castle.
The castle.
So, it's...
Oh, the big like
yeah.
castle.
And the salon's kind
iconic
of like
castle.
an like out of like it's not something like it's
You don't
like
just
you go to
happen
an
into it.
exclusive
Okay.
floor to go to this.
It's
salon.
it's a special area. You have to have an appointment,
Right.
And you get transformed into a princess or a knight. So it's again could be a very gender affirming experience for. It would be magical for any kid.
And kind of like hands off for a parent that's like, I don't know what, like, I'm not prepared to do this and I don't know what to do, but Disney's here to like make my child into a princess and I'm all about it.
Right.
Here's my money.
Yeah, like, here you
Turn-
go.
Swipe my
turn her
credit
into a
card
princess.
Yeah.
and make my kid feel so special.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's what
Okay.
it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know the kids who went to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Like, you see them walking around the park, and they are literally, like, they must do something with a magic wand. 'cause
There's a glow up.
There's a glow up, and they're, like, so glittered out that they're just...
It's falling off
It's
of them.
just
Like
They just look
snow.
like ghosts
And they
or
have,
whatever.
like, they get to choose, if they do the princess package, they get to choose, like, which princess dress.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's like, are you
Man.
Cinderella or Belle or Ariel? Like,
Can you take the dress home?
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
like,
okay.
it's like
I
a
don't
beauty
even wanna ask what the
appointment.
price tag
Holy
on this
shit.
package
It's
With
is.
so expensive.
Your
I'm
hair
sure.
done, your nails done, your makeup, your glitter, and then like the outfit.
Wow.
$1,500 a child.
It's not.
Can
that
I
expensive.
get bibbidi bobbidi booed at my
Is this
age?
adult?
No, it's
Oh.
12 and under.
Oh, damn it.
So sorry.
We'll just have to
I
set
would
up a
have
salon
loved to have
down here.
seen that like suit or whatever the hell. Like,
Right?
yeah. What are the choices for?
It's princess and knight is what.
So okay. So what
So
are
they
the
get
what are the
armor
night
or they get
choices?
tux?
I think the night is like they still get to feel pampered, like they get their hair done and they get that.
Do they shave their face?
I don't
Maybe
think
they, like,
so.
put
I think,
on a little-
I think it's less to do the night package. I'm sure it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like we
I'm just
night
curious
you.
about the outfit choices.
I don't 100% know about that.
We'll look
Okay.
into it and we'll post some photos at a later time.
I'd really like to know.
The important thing to know is that it doesn't matter the kid's gender.
they just roll
You get
with
to
it.
choose. Yeah.
That's nice.
Like they're not like present a birth certificate or like we're only giving girls
Oh
the
my
princess
God.
treatment.
Can you imagine
It's
the
not like
red
that.
tape?
We'd cancel Disney. I'm sorry,
Right.
Lisa, but we'd have to
I know
cancel
I
Disney.
would cancel Disney, but that's the cool. It's like it's silly that we even have to say that, but it's very. That's important to know. Like, am I
have-
gonna walk in and is my kid gonna feel like a fucking weirdo that I want my kid to do
Right.
the princess
Right.
package because that's what she wants, but it's not what someone would think that she wants.
I
Right,
have
sort of thing.
never thought about this. Not that I would, but it's very
Well, we don't have children.
interesting, and
I also think
it
there's
makes me
this-
feel good.
It makes me feel good too. Like, but to me, it's like
There are kids
makes
out
me
there.
feel good that like there are parents
Getting the
that would
bibbidi-bobbidi
take
Yeah.
treatment.
their kids
Yes.
to do something
And
like
pay
that.
extra
That's what
money.
makes me feel like
Well, and it's nice that like this giant
I don't think you've made that
corporation,
noise on the podcast yet.
this like huge conglomerate corporation that's probably one of the biggest brands in the world. That's
it
just
is,
like
yeah.
we don't ask questions, like we just provide a service.
Don't ask, don't tell.
It's
like
not even that. It's not that.
I'm sorry.
That's a negative.
Let's reclaim don't ask, don't tell.
it's just like no need to ask because everyone's wearing a button.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Right.
It's just nice because I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and maybe not everyone would know.
No,
There's
I would know.
also now a pirate experience
Oh.
where you can get outfitted as a pirate.
Is this 12 and under or
12 and under.
We just talked about Captain
adult
Hook.
classes.
can we
There's a
pass as
male-
12 years old?
I could have like 6 months ago.
You could have, honey.
We'll just shave your face pretty good.
Just real good.
The next tip is finding non-gendered activities. So a lot of people immediately think, oh, there's like princes and princesses, or there's
Quasimodo.
And
I wrong?
what's
Yeah, I guess that would be
Quasimodo's
the exact
counterpart?
opposite.
Well, it's
that is not where my head was going at all.
sorry.
but
It's just
yeah.
Quasimodo is neither a princess or a prince.
He deserves love.
but he's. I assume his pronouns are he, but
They
Quasi deserves love.
They were in the movie.
he's the main character, is he not?
He is.
and he's
Hunchback
neither
of
of
Notre
those
Dame,
things.
Anyways.
Okay, so just finding like non-gendered areas of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the Princess Fantasy Fair. There is the Star Wars land. There's these things that are kind of like stereotypical for boys and for girls, and obviously either can go. It's
Right.
not like you're not
No
allowed.
one's policing
Yeah,
it
no
or
one's
anything.
policing it. But there's a lot of things that are very non-gendered. So for like the non-binary kids, or if kids are feeling uncomfortable of like
Going to Princess Land?
yeah. There's a lot of areas that
I wouldn't have gone to Princess Land.
so this is for you.
You wouldn't have dragged
This
me
is
into
for
Princess Land.
Little Lindsay. There's a really fun area both in Animal Kingdom and also in California Adventure. So in the Florida and the Disneyland park, that is the Up Wilderness Explorers area. And it's based around the film Up. And it's like this really fun outdoor wilderness
Experience.
experience.
Do you get
yeah.
to be like a scout and watch your neighbor's wife die? Or
What the fuck, honey?
No.
is that not what happened?
Yeah,
in the
that's
movie?
what happens in the movie. But you get to like do like a zip line and do like crawl through tree
Rocks.
logs and like
Okay.
It's just like it's a very non-gendered thing.
It's
Is what I'm getting
playtime
at. It's like a
course.
fun outside.
You're just an adventurer.
Yeah, you're an adventurer, and it's
That's
not
it.
Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts.
It's just
you're an adventurer, and you
Scouts.
can do some really fun like exploring in this outdoor like obstacle course.
I'm sorry I brought up the wife.
I would have loved the outdoor obstacle course.
Yeah, that would have
It's
been
very fun.
What's the tree that you're waiting in line in a tree?
I think you're
That's
always
every
waiting in
fucking
line.
ride.
Mountain?
Is it? Yeah, it is.
That's a mountain.
But you're like in a trunk of a tree while you're waiting in line, and there's like all these like things
Is
to
there an
look at and
avatar?
see, and
That's
it might
in Disney
be
World.
or it might be
you been to
Splash
Disney
Mountain.
World?
I don't know. It was where while we were there last. I don't know.
Does Pocahontas?
enjoyed the
Pocahontas
tree?
has a tree.
I enjoyed the tree.
aspect, right?
Inside the tree, honey.
But I loved the tree. Yeah.
Was it in Disneyland or California Adventure?
Did we
wish I
do
would've
both
taken
of
a
those
picture.
parks that day?
Yeah.
That one day we did both of those
One
parks?
day
The
you
park
went to
hop.
multiple places.
That's what we're gonna do this time too, I think.
What the fuck?
Anyway,
You're in
there's
charge.
so there's
Whatever you
lots of
want.
areas of the park that are non-gendered. So New Orleans Square,
I want to go there.
Pirates of the Caribbean, like Haunted
Are there
Mansion. Yeah, I think you could probably find some beads if you look around.
If I look around.
Yeah. Tomorrowland.
I don't know about this.
So Matterhorn. Mm-hmm. Which
That's a mountain, right?
it's a mountain.
Okay, a lot of mountains in this
Yes.
park.
Magic and otherwise.
There's
Okay.
lots of mountains.
Is there a haunted mountain?
No.
You notice we're saying mountain.
There's
'cause
a
we're from
space
Utah.
mountain.
There's
Space.
Oh.
4 mountains.
Kai made sure to say mountain.
Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, the Matterhorn.
Haunted
Big Thunder.
mountain. Oh,
Big Thunder.
Someone's
Mountain.
yelling at
There's
us
4.
as they're listening to this.
I don't know. Sorry.
What I'm saying is don't be scared off if you have a non-binary kid, because there's so many things in the parks that are non-gendered and a lot of areas that aren't just for boys or girls.
Magic moments
Of
are
them.
for all.
I'm ready to go have a great
That's
time.
nice.
So the next tip is to have your kid interact with cast members and characters. So like we talked about with the buttons, there are so many opportunities for your kid to be, and I keep saying your kid, and I shouldn't just be talking to people with children. There's lots of opportunities for gender affirming conversations.
My dog.
No, dogs are.
Unfortunately,
Oh, I'm sorry. You just said not.
Dogs are not allowed.
No, and I think Nutkin would love Disneyland.
Fucking god.
This is
I want
a
him to have
weird
Mickey
side
ears
note,
on.
but I'm just gonna go here. That we went to this fancy
Put a
house.
bookmark.
We went to a fancy house the other day for this pool party, and the woman who owns the house said at the end of the year, when we're about to close down the pool, we invite over all the dogs we know, and they all get to swim. So I'm imagining Disney does the same thing, where at the end of the season, which is never because
Never, it's
they're
always
24/7, they have all the dogs go on the rides and have a good old day.
Go on the rides,
Nutkin
Kai.
wants to go on a ride.
Nutkin wants to go on the carousel.
What ride would Nutkin want to go
Nutkin
on?
wants to go on the
Snow
carousel.
White
He wants to
Oh.
ride a pony. I get it.
He wants to ride a pony with some cotton candy in his hand and Mickey ears on his head. His tiny little pea brain head. Can
I
you
have a
just see
picture
it?
of me with Mickey ears and my name stitched on.
So I almost brought Mickey ears for everyone to wear. Kai shut it down.
She has
how
I
many
wanted
ears
pairs.
do you have?
She has plenty.
I have plenty for
the
all of us to have a
fuck?
different pair on, and we could take a group picture. And Kai shut it down.
I actually agreed, and then she didn't bring them, so she just wanted to throw me under the bus.
How about you're throwing each other under the bus
you
right
want
now?
to bring Mickey ears? What are you asking? Okay, bring them. It was one of those. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna bring. It was one of those. You know.
And then it was like you'd make Alex uncomfortable because she's never been to Disneyland.
I was just like, we don't have to do this. I'm not like forcing anyone. And then I didn't want to like go find him in the basement. So
Oh yeah.
interacting with characters and cast members is a great gender affirming activity throughout your day. Like we talked about the buttons. So cast members are clued in on what pronouns to use. So
Right.
that's just like a tip to...
The button is a big tip.
The
That's a
button
big
is a
tip.
big deal. I don't know if this is okay to say, but like maybe if you don't have a child who's passing or if you are worried about that.
Right.
I think that's absolutely okay to say.
Yeah,
If you're
then-
a sensitive to your kids' need.
Yeah.
Right
or
away.
if your kid's non-binary, like that might not be something that someone is clued off to right away. So if you have like a big
Yeah.
they them on their chest, then cast members will know to be careful.
And it was easy to get. Like, it wasn't a hassle at all.
No.
We didn't wait in line for 45 minutes. Like, we literally
button?
went in. Yeah, it was just like, it was really easy to get.
And don't be afraid to like go up and have interactions with characters. So there's two different types of characters. Face characters are going to be someone like Mary Poppins or Jack Sparrow or someone who can talk to your kids.
They're not wearing a
Giant head.
head.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And so those characters, that can be a really cool experience because they're having a conversation and will reaffirm whatever's on the button.
Right.
So, like, don't be afraid to have those experiences.
I can't even imagine how impactful that could be.
I'm still hung up on the parents that are cool enough to, like, go out of their way to make that experience.
I just want to go to
happen for their
Disneyland to
child.
watch, just to like stalk and watch other people have these experiences. I'm just going to sit on a bench with some sort of alcoholic beverage
That you'll have to bootleg
and just
because they
like
don't allow
cry to
alcohol.
myself. I'm just saying this is like ultimate
Yes.
people watching
It
experience.
is the ultimate. Yes, it is the ultimate people watching. So something to be aware of: navigating restrooms. So Disney World and Disneyland have some, of course, like the specific gendered bathrooms, but there's also tons of family bathrooms, is what they call them. So if you have a kid or you're traveling with someone who is non-binary or doesn't feel comfortable in gendered bathrooms, make sure again to go to City Hall, grab a map, and talk to a cast member about where exactly the family bathrooms are located, and that can make it a much smoother experience.
I'm sure that, I don't know. I always like to go to the family bathrooms whenever I see one. I'm like, yes, I know that this is a single stall.
And no one's gonna
I
be
can
next
lock
to
the
me.
door.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's big and wide, and I can like hang all my
Yes.
stuff on the door, whatever.
Yep.
I can do some like exercises before I eat dinner,
Squats.
whatever happens.
Just doing your squats in the bathroom.
Yeah, there's plenty of room. That's all I have to say about that.
So one last thing I wanted to talk about is gay days at the parks. So gay days is an unofficial pride event at Disney that happens at all the parks, and it's a really big deal. It draws hundreds of thousands of people.
when does it
And
happen?
This year at Disneyland is September 17th through the 19th. It's wild. I've been before, and there's a ton of people there.
But it's full of gays.
It
School's
is
back
really
in
fun.
session. It's nice. nicer
Should we
weather.
do our group trip during
Yes.
Gay Days?
Next year.
I feel like
Should
that's
we podcast live from Gay Days?
Oh my God, no. How could we do that?
we don't know
We
yet.
just have
we'll
our
figure it
phones.
out. We'll
or we
figure it
just
out.
have to like stay in one
shit.
of the Disney hotels.
We could
and
podcast from our hotel.
And we just invite strangers.
No.
Oh, we're the hosts of this podcast. We're
I
strangers.
nodded.
It's like we could
Not
we could invite some strangers off the
We
street.
could never invite a stranger.
Disney strangers aren't regular strangers.
Okay. Okay.
So, for the record, Gay Days is normally in June, but because the Disney parks were not open, you know, they were closed from the pandemic. For 2022, for those who are planning for next year, Gay Days are June 2nd through the 5th.
I feel like that is not good for us because
That's not good for us.
Excuse me, Disney, can you rearrange your schedule?
can that always be in September when the children are back in
I'd
school?
really
please?
like it if it was when the children were not in school. Thank you. Or were in school. Thank you. Yeah. September sounds great, actually.
I want to say that like 70% of Disney employees are gay, so it's like they're really doing it for themselves. But it's like very much
Yeah.
this.
We're a family-friendly organization.
veneer. There's a very thin veneer.
We're aware that
Queer
magic
coding.
was a part of the gay flag at one
And
point.
Disney knows that. Disney knows
Oh, I'm sure.
all about that magic stripe on the.
They don't know
The
the
gay flag.
pink stripe. They know the turquoise
They
stripe.
do not recognize the pink stripe. Sex.
Oh,
Sex.
yeah. Okay, you're right.
Sorry.
So,
Now you know you
Maddie.
can't whisper anything around Kai.
Here I am. Here I'm queer.
Definitely
So-
not drinking beer.
Definitely
ever.
not.
if you can make it to Gay Days, it's really fun because there's a whole park full of queer folks.
But they don't advertise. Do they not advertise gay days? Do they advertise it?
Disney doesn't because it's like an unofficial thing.
So how do you know when it's happening?
Well,
You just have to
the
be
gay
Lisa.
agenda. Don't you get the newsletter?
No.
You're not signed up.
No.
It's just a thing. It's just the thing. And there's like shirts and merch, and everyone wears red. It's like a thing to wear
A
red.
red. Okay.
Do you think there's a Reddit for the gay days?
Oh, there for sure is.
There's probably 1,000 Facebook groups. There's probably an email newsletter.
Yeah.
There's probably like
just
3
come out of the
podcasts
closet,
that
Disney.
just
That's all I have to say.
cover this.
Just
matter.
do it, Disney.
Yeah.
Just
So
do it.
in 2020, they came out with their first animated short that featured a gay couple. And that was a really big deal because it's the first time that's ever happened. So if you have Disney Plus, you can watch the short called Out. And it's a very endearing, short animated 9-minute
Okay.
out called Out. And it's
Of the closet.
it makes history as the first gay protagonist within an animated short on the Disney platform.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
We've talked this episode about all the queer coded characters, but this is the first
Non-coded, like straight up
explicitly-
queer.
explicitly open. Yes.
Okay.
This past weekend watched the new film Jungle Cruise,
Okay.
and there was a little queer moment in that, which we'll keep this spoiler free.
We'll watch it.
I also have to say that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
It's okay if you're not going to watch it, but for our listeners, there is a queer moment that is a little more bold than what Disney historically.
They're
has
pushing
let on.
their boundaries.
They're pushing their boundaries.
would
Yes,
like
they're
to-
coming out of the closet slowly. So that's what I
Disney?
have. That's our queer Disney episode, and I just would like to encourage our listeners to keep their queer minds open about Disney.
My queer mind's never been closed about Disney.
It's
But
great.
I feel even better about it now. If my dog could go, I would definitely let Stella choose if she.
I think she'd be a pretty
they
princess.
wanted to be a princess or a knight.
I think
gonna-
she'd be a princess.
I'm not going to tell them what to do.
Well, Stella can do
Or
whatever
how to be.
she wants.
You guys would pay for the full bibbity bobbity boutique.
I would pay
She'd so
5 times
she'd
whatever
be
it is.
a bibbity bobbity bitch.
Oh, God.
Shalakazoola, magicaroola, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together and what do you got?
Yeah, if you have any like queer experiences with Disney, please write in. I'd love to hear them. And hopefully one day in the future we can record an episode as we all experience queer adult Disney.
So Lisa has promised me to my face a very curated Disney experience, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
She's the person to do it.
It's going to happen. Hopefully 2022 is the year.
I don't know, but I just need it. I need it.
I would love to like have it on the books, but I know we have some like animal surgeries and some
that's
COVID
a good point. Stella, our supervisor, is not here tonight.
This
She's
is actually
normally
our
here.
boo of the week.
Yeah.
Should we just slide
Let's
into
roll
the boo?
into
We're sliding
this.
into-
Here's our boo of the week. Our little podcast dog, Stella, had to have surgery today. And by the time this airs, we're probably going to be through the worst of the recovery. However,
she had TPLO surgery, which is basically to repair a torn doggy ACL, which is not an ACL, but
it's called a CCL.
we'll pick her up tomorrow. And by the time this airs, hopefully she's kind of walking around on her own and she'll be back supervising the podcast.
Chewing a pizzle.
Chewing on a pizzle.
That's probably why I'm a little more drunk than I normally am, because I'm really stressed out.
Cheers to that.
But the surgery went well, and she's totally fine, and she just has to spend the night in the animal
strange place.
ICU.
Cheers to
So-
Stella, the pretty princess.
Yes.
Or night.
She's a princess.
Whatever she wants to
or night.
Maybe she'll be a pirate. Maybe she'll do the pirate
do.
experience.
Oh, she'd love to be a pirate.
Yeah.
She's kind of rude.
She has a big barrel chest.
Yeah.
She does have a big barrel chest.
But can't you kind of see like the corset?
Corset?
Like the woman pirate?
Like on her
Corset
little,
with,
like,
on her
tiny
barrel
bladder
chest?
area?
No, it would just like
No. Here is our Who of the Week. The Olympics are still going, as you know, right now.
Yeah, I don't know when they end.
It doesn't really matter. But there is a boxer from the Philippines who won a silver medal, and this person's name is Nezthi Peticio.
Yep. That sounds right.
Okay. Won silver in the women's featherweight boxing. And she dedicated the win to her country, her coaches, and to LGBTQ people.
it's really cool coming from that community, especially. I feel like
Yeah, if you said like, hey, this woman boxer is a part of the LGBTQ community, I'd say, okay.
just the fact that she like shouts out.
Well, especially from the Philippines, because
Yes, that's-
their guy over there, their like president, is a fucking asshole. Yeah, he is.
Duterte.
Yes,
All of those.
all of those are correct, but he is very like right wing and is just kind of a horrible guy, and so it's interesting. I couldn't really elaborate much more on that, but
it's nice to see that kind of sentiment coming from a Filipino Olympic champion who's not afraid to hold back and shout out
Yeah.
There was something I sent you guys on Instagram, but there was somebody that on the metal stage did like the X, and they had like their hair dyed, and I can't remember now.
Like as a non-binary thing?
Yes. Raven, Hulk, Saunders, she, her. I don't know what this event was, but she said, love, awareness, and kindness, young and old Black people, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are amazing. LGBTQIA people, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are amazing. If you are mentally struggling, no matter who and where you are or where in the world you are, I see you, I'm fighting for you, and I need you to keep fighting for yourself. Meet me at the X. And there's a picture of her on the podium, like doing the X. And there was some controversy because she did the X, and it was like, is the IOC going to punish her for... It's kind of like the raised fist.
Okay.
Like the Black Power.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She was sort of doing a similar stance on the podium. So that I just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
I thought that was cool.
Double who this week?
Yeah.
Double Who, and we'll put the links and the photos in our show note if you want to see more about these.
Is there anything
Queer
else
athletes.
that we haven't covered today?
No, I just want to go have a pirate experience.
Okay.
I want to
Yo-ho.
shout
Yo-ho.
out.
A Pirate's Life through Lindsay.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to shout out Casey. Thank you so
yes.
much, Casey, for stepping in and helping us just reach the next level of
So you
mastering.
can listen to our podcast while you're pumping iron.
Yep,
or while you're driving your
down the
car.
freeway.
Or while you're-
and
Pillaging a village.
You can't pillage a village and listen to a podcast.
You can now because we have Casey.
wow.
Casey's evening out our levels here.
Yeah. Our art is by the beautiful Debbie Dixon.
Music by Cop Kid.
T-shirts by all of us.
This has been Toasted Lavender Podcast. You can find us on Instagram
Get a t-shirt.
Patreon.
and Patreon.
Don't you
Get
want a t-shirt?
Lavender Menace t-shirt.
I do. I kept one.
Are you guys familiar with newer Disney, or should I stick to the old classics?
I'm pretty classic.
Did you watch Inside Out?
No. We watched Soul at your insistence. Mm-hmm. And then I think the most recent movie before that is The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
there's like a 20-year
There's a pretty
gap.
big gap there. Okay.